the best gift a father can give to his children is being faithful to his wife.
Yeah.
How important is that?
Well, first of all, for me, it came through a lot of training. And so there's an investment that came before marriage. We dated for 5 years. And in the 5 years that we dated, we had to invest in our own relationship to make
Yeah.
sure that the lead up to marriage, that we were going to enter on the wedding day pure. You know what I mean? Um, and so the white dress ought not just be a symbol that means nothing, but it needs to represent something,
Yeah.
you know? And so before we got married, we were very careful.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people in our lives, a lot of spiritual people in our lives, mentors. She had her mentors, I had mine.
Yeah.
Of course, we would be faced with temptations, but I would always be open about it. You know what I mean? James 5:16. For those who want to read, James 5:16. You know, openness is important. Having people praying for you and being held accountable by people you respect is important, especially when you have such a noble goal to enter into marriage in a pure way, you know. And so we did things like we double dated, you know. We double dated with people who were like-minded, you know, so that, you know, we wouldn't put ourselves in compromising situations. We wouldn't go to the club or in a dark space and you know, in a little corner by so. No, when we go out in bright light. You understand?
So even if temptation overcome you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had people around.
Around.
And then we surround ourselves with people that not pretending or putting on a theater for being spiritual. We're talking about real, genuine people that wanted the same thing that we wanted.
Yeah.
And so that's the people that we surrounded ourselves with. We just did different things. You know, I wouldn't call and spend any length of time on the phone. I wouldn't lie down on the bed and be talking with her. If it is she calls me and I on my bed, I getting up and I coming outside. You understand? Little things like that, because you know, the mind goes where it wants to go. You understand? And people fail to recognize just how powerful these little things are.
Yeah.
You know?
So you mean it's possible?
It is.
Like a lot of young people can't wait until marriage, but your goal was to wait until
Yes.
marriage.
Yeah.
And you're talking about you're home and she's in a completely different place.
Yeah.
Yet you adjust how you talk to her. How you talk about you study psychology. Give us a sense of how because you talk about you get up from the bed just because you're talking with her. Because if you're in a certain position and if you speak a certain way, then thoughts come.
Yeah, I mean, the mind operates so fast, so fast. You ever had a conversation with somebody and then realize that they're daydreaming, that their mind gone off on something else? And it's often one word, a sound, a sight that triggers the memory of something else. And they're gone off on a tangent mentally, but you there talking with them, you having this conversation, but they are not even with you anymore. They are gone into a separate world because the mind is always working.
Yeah.
So, in my mind, I thought to myself, I am laying horizontal on my bed, having a conversation with a woman that I'm attracted to. If she is the last person I talk to that night, chances are she's going to be in my thoughts until I fall asleep. And people don't think about these things, but I recognize that there's always progression. There's always progression. Things don't stay one way for very long. They want more, it has to go further, it has to go further. And if it is you want to not go somewhere, then you have to be mindful of the first step.
So your thought, like you said, the
Yeah.
thought leads to the action.
Yep.
That's exactly how it goes in every case.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is very, very intriguing. So talk to a young man. So I give you a chance to talk to the young man and you, young woman, that it is possible to
Yeah.
wait until marriage. It seems like
Very.
everybody's having sex. Really and truly, everybody's not having sex.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great big lie that is being told, and is really unfortunate. And that lie is that in order for you to have a successful marriage, you need to know everything about your future wife, including their sexual habits or abilities. And that is something that people push. You can't just marry a woman. If you marry a woman without having sex with her first, you're marrying cat and bag. You know nothing. You know, you might be in for a shock and this, that, and the next. The truth is, if you're attracted to that person, which is a key component, friendship is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Friendship is the most important thing. You take the time to invest in a friendship and you put aside the things that could muddy that. then you are on the right track. And also, you have to keep in mind that God is alive and well. And He gives certain instructions in the Word of God. And those instructions have consequences and rewards.
Right.
And just as there are consequences, there are rewards. And God blesses. And the men and women who choose to do it God's way will be blessed.
Talk about the young woman.
Yeah, I mean, woman, this is a gift. You know, it's precious that God has given to us, and it's the best gift that any woman could give to their husband, knowing that nobody has ever touched my wife. You know, that this is a gift that I'm going to open
Right.
all for
All by
myself.
yourself.
And, you know, the whole thing about it is that people feel like purity and virginity is like a bad thing, and you will die if it happens. You know, but I'm still alive, kicking. Well, I look great.
Better
You know, I mean, and I'm happy. You know, I have no regrets. You know, when I got married to my husband, there's no regrets, and I don't have to worry about him ever having to find out about things that I did in the past, and nothing like that. You know, there's a freedom that comes with your purity and your virginity. So, you know, women, do not take it for granted. You know, this is your gift. You have the right to say no, and it's always best to wait.
So let me ask you, how do you do it? Because some young people, we talked a little bit about self-confidence and insecurities, and there are a lot of young women who didn't have like proper parenting. They didn't have anybody to support them. How were you able to do it in the midst of this crazy?
I would have to give credit to my parents. You know, they spoke to us from a very early age, and they talked to us about what sex is. And when I got older, of course, I found out that my mom was not a virgin when she got married, but that never changed my perspective on it, you know. So my whole life was like, this is a gift, and I'm not going to let anybody, you know, I kept my head on my shoulders, as they say. But I think what really kept me as well as my relationship with God, because I understood that, you know, it's sin that led Jesus on the cross. So this simple thing that people think is simple, Jesus died for it.
Right.
You know, so my mindset was always, you know what, I'm not going to do this to Jesus again. I'm not going to nail him to that cross because of 5 minutes of pleasure to be living with consequences. It's not worth it, you know, so I'm just going to wait. And the truth is, it's not going to be that simple. You have to have scriptures, you have to keep reading, you have to have people in your life, you have to be open because, you know, things happen, the hormones start kicking,
Yes,
and,
everything.
you know, your mind start going crazy, and there are times that it's very, very hard. I remember there was this one time, Shin and I went to a wedding because we dated for 5 years, and I was always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Right, so we invited to all these weddings, and you know, you start to feel lovey-dovey, and and I had to go home. I mean, we were traveling home, and I was just, let me just stay away from this man, you know. But I went home and I went down on my knees and I prayed. I was like, God, this is scary. You know, take these feelings away from me because I'm not ready for this, you know. Because we weren't even close to being engaged. We were still dating, you know, and I was open with a friend of mine, and she prayed with me, and she told me, you know, this is something that you have to prepare yourself for, and you know, after that, I never had those feelings again. But I just decided, you know, I'm not going to give in. You know, we've been doing this for so long. Why give in now?
Right.
You know, and just be open about it. So it's not easy, and I'm not going to tell anybody and sit here and say it's going to be easy, but it's definitely going to be worth it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and how is it that he treated you? Because he had to wait. Because a lot of the times when men, I have read the men who always say men did it made because he had to wait. How does he treat you that makes a difference?
Right. Well, you see, the thing is, I feel like because we both had the same mindset, so it wasn't even anything on our mind to think about, you know, so there was no pressure at all for the relationship. You know, it was a relationship where we had the opportunity to be ourselves and get to know each other, so it was building a friendship. So it was not a physical relationship at all, you know, so I felt special, you know, and even now as a wife, you know, on that day, you know, when we saw each other for the first time in that light, you know,
glory.
I will never forget the look that he had on his face when he saw me, you know.
Finally.
I was like, woo, you know, it was worth it, you know.
Right.
So I never felt any pressure at all. Yeah.
Wow. So it's really a pleasure speaking with both of you, and I think you're a bright example of like you said, God's original standard still stands. And regardless of how crazy the world gets, God is God, and what He says is wrong is always wrong.
That's right.
You know, so we're happy to have had you in Grenada, and maybe you want to speak finally to the young persons in Grenada. Leave something with us that would remind them. You know what? Regardless of what happened, God's standard is God's standard.
Yeah, I mean, well, I want to encourage you to really set goals, have a vision for yourself. I think that young people today, they just don't have a vision. They just go in with the flow. And if you go with the flow, you could end up in the toilet. You could end up in a bad place. You don't want to go with the flow. You want to dig your feet deep down into the earth and make a stand for something, you know? So have a vision. Sit down and ask yourself, what do I want for myself? What do I want for myself 2 years down the road? And write it down. That's where it started for me. I want to encourage you to look for me. I'm Rizon, Rizon on Facebook. Look for me, write me, ask me anything. And I will respond. Rizon. Look for me on Facebook, and also my videos on YouTube, and my website with all my links to Twitter, Instagram is rizonmusic.com. RIZONMUSIC.com.
Yes, and to the young girls, I mean, we always want that fairy tale marriage and life, and you can't have it if you just wait. You know, I am happy. I am 8 years married and looking forward to having babies and just living a life with the man of my dreams and my prayers, and it's just by making that sacrifice. So, I mean, honestly, please don't go with the flow. This is a gift. Keep it. And if you have already made that step, it's not too late, you know. Some of you might feel, well, oh my gosh, I already broke my virginity and I didn't even love the man and I even with him again. That's fine. You have the opportunity to start over, you know. You just don't go around sleeping with anybody else again, but you say no, you know, and wait until you get married and find that special someone. So. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been such a
Yes,
pleasure,
it was.
both of you.
Thank
And,
you.
I declare that your lives will continue to be an instrument where God can use you.
Yes.
And the sky is the limit for both of you. And if you continue working for God, like my father always say, or if you take care of God's business,
Yes.
God will take care of yours.
That's right.
So all the best, and I will continue. I like I said, I saw your music today for the first time, and there is a kind of spiritual power, fire that's in it, and I think I'm thinking while I'm listening, oh my God, I wish my young people would, you know, grab a hold of this music, and even they will be at the concert. But I would definitely get them to listen to the music, because I think all of the songs that I've listened to, about 11 today, really spoke about purity, about standing up, about positiveness, and I think you're on the right track, and I declare that God will continue to fuel that fire. And if we have an explosion, then so let it be.
Amen. Thank you.
Wow, viewers, it's been a wonderful time here in the beautiful sunset here at Flamboyant Hotel here in St. George's, and we've been speaking with Susan and Shane Gibson Rizon, both from Trinidad, and they're here really promoting positivity. If you are a young person, maybe you've already given up your virginity, like they said, it is good that you can start today. No time as the present. It's been such a pleasure, and regardless of what you've been through in your past, do not let your past cloud the future that God has for you, that God has a future for all of us. And if we just submit ourselves to God and wait, like Susan said, the beauty of virginity, even if it's a second time, can also be beneficial. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. I am Ruth Roberts, and please join us again next time for another such wonderful program from right here at Flamboyant Hotel. Join us again next time. Goodbye.
For my people in the struggle, you know, nothing can stop me now. Nothing can stop me now. I will get there somehow. I will get there somehow. Your voice is calling me. Can you feel it? Don't hold me, let me go. Long before I ever came into existence, in my mother belly resting, this beat was supposed to be destined to undergo many trials and testing, to make sure when I step into this world I be a blessing. So move out of my way, I'm coming true. But if you want to come along, you know what to do, cause you're right up in the room inside for people with a positive vibe. Let me go, I'm busting the rope so I can reach for what is mine. No matter what life bring down the road, I'm gonna reach for what is mine. Let them talk, talk all they want, I'm gonna reach for what is mine. Nobody gonna bring me down below, I'm gonna reach for what is mine. Everyone has a place in this world, a purpose for the soul, a vision to behold, but you got to open eyes so you can see it. And anything you want to be, believe that you can be it. See, no matter what people say, it's your move. Never let them dictate if you win or lose. Cause you're right up plenty room inside for people with a positive vibe. Let me go, I'm passing you up so I can reach for what is mine. No matter what life bring down the road, I'm gonna reach for what is mine. Let them talk all they want, I'm gonna reach for what is mine. Nobody gonna bring me down below, I'm gonna reach for what is mine. To the top of the mountain, I'm gonna reach. Over hills and valleys too, I'm gonna reach. Making my dreams come true, I'm gonna reach. Yeah, I'm gonna reach. Whoa, I'm gonna reach. With every step I climb, I'm gonna reach. Yeah, I'm gonna reach. Whoa, I'm gonna reach. Long before I ever came into existence, in my mother belly resting, this fetus was predestined to undergo many trials and testing to make sure when I step into this world I'll be a blessing.